Hi, everyone. I hope this message finds you centered and at the close of a productive week. In lieu of principals meeting, this video will review highlights from the leadership link and provide you with additional information and important updates. And yes, we do want you to watch the entire video. Enjoy.
Skinner video take 6. Yes, that means there's been 5 failed attempts prior to this one. I've been adjusting the light to make sure that the light doesn't bounce too much off my forehead and blind you as you listen to this message. However, I did want to make sure that everybody knows that I'm wishing you well. I know we've started our testing season. MAP is going on. EOC is about to start. AP exams are going to start in May, so we do have a lot of ways for our students to demonstrate the knowledge they've learned over the years, and I know we're all looking forward to everybody doing their best. We also have some elementary uniform surveys that are being pushed out right now. You've probably already seen the email. Please encourage everybody to participate. We're trying to determine if we want to have school uniforms next year at the elementary level. We also are looking at boundary change proposals because we have a lot going on with our school choice. Right now we're at about 780 students that are participating, which means that we'll have 2 full schools of choice, Santa Fe Millennium and Burke Compass. So please stay tuned to hearing some information about proposed boundary changes. And again, I just want to let everybody know that we're thinking about you, and if C&I can help or myself in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out and talk with us. Thank you again. I hope you have a great day tomorrow and a great weekend and a great rest of the year. Bye-bye.
Okay, before we dive into the key highlights of the leadership link, I do want to take a moment to just say thank you for keeping the focus on what really matters, students and teachers, and teaching and learning. I also want to say that if you haven't had an opportunity to check out this link here, please do. There's important information in regards to how you can let your staff members know how much they matter. In looking at our What's New information, the first bullet you see here is our District Title I Advisory Committee meeting. This is our required spring meeting, and yes, we do need all of the principals in attendance. This meeting is scheduled for Monday, April 25th. We also need to have parent representation there. This was an area that we did not hit during our fall meeting, and so we want to make sure that we do have parent representation at our meeting. So please touch base with any staff members that are parents, or if you have PTA parents that can come, or even parents who have students in the LINK program and they're willing to attend the meeting. You also may want to look for teachers who provided Title I tutoring. This would be someone who is directly benefiting from our Title I funds. So we want to make sure that we target those 2 groups. You will also briefly share your end of year report. So that's the purpose of having that. You will be sharing how those funds were utilized during the 15-16 school year. And then we're looking at an evaluation of the services and programs. So that's the purpose. So you'll talk about how your Title I funds were used and then what was the outcome of that. That's where that data comes in, and that's where you talk about your tutoring and your parent survey information. So that wraps that up. And again, if you have questions about that, please let me know. Those presentations will be very, very brief. We're talking 2 to 3 minutes where you're just sharing highlights of that end of year report. And again, a lot of you have already dived right in and you've gotten that done, so I really do appreciate that. Your site level meetings, had some questions about that. We did give a window of dates for that. Preferably, you might want to have that meeting after we have the district meeting. You don't have to, but it would give you an opportunity to see how that meeting is conducted, and then you can plan accordingly for your site level meeting. I did provide some information in this paragraph about things you would talk about during that meeting, and there's also a sample agenda for you to look at so you know what items can be included on your school agenda. Your Title I school-wide plans, I think we have all of those turned in, and so thank you for that. And then your budget updates, remember these are just preliminary. Your funding will be closely aligned to what you received for this school year, so there shouldn't be a big discrepancy there. So really just start tentatively allocating those monies, how you see that you're planning to spend those for next school year. And I know you may not get everything on there, but I think most of you have some idea as to how you want to spend that money. Okay. The parental Title I evaluation surveys, we are getting lots of surveys in, and you will receive those results as soon as possible. Friday is the last day for those, so we won't take any more surveys after that. We want to try to get that data populated and get those results out to buildings next week. If you have questions about that, let me know. That parental involvement spreadsheet, so we just need numbers, and again, I think we have nearly every school with their information updated on the spreadsheet, so thank you for that. That was actually due on Wednesday. The calendar planning, I know that some of you were waiting for the district calendar, and that was sent out yesterday, so you do have that information to help you guide how you're planning your events for next year. And while we know that there may be some changes, it's really good if you can get some of those things on the calendar. Elementary schools, looking at your parental involvement plans, how do you want to schedule those activities for next year? That will help us look at the overlap between elementary and secondary. There are some secondary events that parents really need to be a part of, and so if we can move some elementary events around, that would be the direction we would want to go in. So get that done as quickly as possible. Looks like that was due on Wednesday as well. The summer school recommendations, 3rd through 8th grade. I know that some of the principals have already gone in and identified some students. These students will be priority on the list for summer school. And again, we want to find a good balance between those students who are just kind of struggling, not just those students who are receiving special services or who didn't qualify for services. So we want a good balance there of students that we're recommending. Applications have already gone out. Sample crisis letters, those were placed in that folder. Take a look at that. National Elementary Honor Society. I did share some sample documents regarding that. Again, if you're interested in starting your chapter, you can start your chapter for next school year, but you can apply right now. So you don't have to get all of that done right now, but you can go ahead and move forward with your application. So that was a lot to go through, but I will say most of you have already attacked a lot of those things and you are on the ball. And I'm moving down this agenda and it looks like everything else is easy. Don't need to explain. The only other reminder that I would share is that I will be pushing out some information in regards to our K2 ELA benchmarking rollout. There's some information that Lisa will share with principals and lead teachers, but there's also additional information that will come out in regards to resources and materials that would be helpful to teachers as we move into our ELA benchmarking at K2. That wraps up the leadership link information.
Hey everyone, I think you're probably wishing that you had popped some popcorn or had a snack by this point in the video, but my portion will be brief. I have a couple of reminders and a couple of highlights for you, so we'll dive right in. I echo my colleagues in that I really hope that you had a great week. On the list is data health checks. As you know, we sent out updated data health checks right before spring break and asked that those be cleaned up so that we could ensure a smooth April. And please pass along a kudos to your attendance clerks, secretaries, registrars. At this point, those look pretty darn good. In the grand scheme of things, may seem minor. However, on our end, from a district level, it is important that we're in compliance and that we're reporting appropriate data when it comes time to figuring out all the accountability pieces. So they look good. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support with that. Second thing is kudos to site test coordinators, ELL teachers, process coordinators, principals, supplementals, counselors, whoever is all serving on that building leadership team in terms of planning for testing. A big thank you. There are a lot of moving parts that go into testing, and so your work and attention to detail around that is very much appreciated on my end. I think everything has gone pretty smoothly so far with MAP. We'll start EOC testing next week, Advanced Placement AP the week after. We've got a few other exams sprinkled in there, but those are kind of the biggies, and I think we're set for those. Third thing on the list is pre-planning for next year. Just wanted you to know that we're starting to outline dates and agenda items for new teacher orientation, for pre-planning days, etc., so that you can begin thinking and planning accordingly for your building. So as you know, the first day of school is August 22nd, and first day back for teachers will be August the 16th. So we're getting some sessions there for you, and we'll be able to talk a little bit more about those during the May and June principals meetings. Last thing I want to share with you is attendance. We're down to 22 days left. It's been a whirlwind for me to finish up my first year in Hickman. So 22 days, we need every one of those 22 days to count. You can see attendance 90-90 by building. We've got Burke and Smith Hale who are still leading the way with 94 and 92. Actually, good job, you two. You're the only ones above 90% at this point in the year. You can see the district is almost smack dab in the middle at 82.9%. If you'll remember, our district goal is somewhere at or above 84%. So we're missing the mark on that goal, guys. And so therefore, the last 22 days are really, really important, not only for your building, but for the district as a whole. So anything you can do to ensure that kids are here every day, I hope that testing will help with that and some of the end of year activities you're doing. But communicating with parents, the importance of those last 22 days is really, really crucial for us. So once again, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week and have something fun planned for the weekend. If you need anything, I stand ready to serve. Please let me know.
Happy Friday, leadership team, from myself and your HR team over here at the Edmond Center. Just want to wish you all the best as you finish up a week of testing, and I know continue on with testing. We know you've gotten our kids ready to go, and we know the results will be on the upside when they come back this year. So, few reminders from HR as we get closer to the end of the year. First, number one, for my elementary principals, I know some of you are anxious about allotments. We are working on those behind the scenes. Some things that were pending, obviously, are school choice and then the boundary changes. We don't want to push out anything official until the board has taken action on the boundary changes, because those do impact your allotments. I'm happy to have phone conversations with you about how the preliminary allotment looks for your building. I've done that with a couple of you already. Just so you're aware, have a heads up about grade level change in your allotment. Secondary, we've already worked through yours and you're good to go. When it comes to hiring at the elementary level, we're asking that you hold off on those classroom positions at this time until Dr. Camp and Dr. Murkerson have an opportunity to recommend to hire all those people into the school choice program, and that'll allow us to know who we need to move from those buildings into your buildings. So when we're clear that you have some openings, we'll communicate that and let you know that you can begin interviewing those for yourself. In the meantime, I'll be sending you updates as you get staff placed at your building so you know what slots are filled. The last piece is the recommendation to hire process. I think all of you have been doing a wonderful job, and we appreciate that. Don't get frustrated if we call following up. It's just making sure we have everything covered on our side as we try to get employees onboarded as soon as possible. Ms. Scott has had people in today, has a full house tomorrow coming through. So as soon as we get your rec to hires and we get everything confirmed on our side, we are trying to get them in as soon as possible so they feel secure that they have a job. So we're working to keep up on that. First round of the new hires will obviously go in April. Then we'll have slates in May and June. What we do ask from you this year, and I communicated that in the survey, if you remember, that we got information back on our new hires, was a lot of them felt like there was a gap between when they got hired and then they had never heard anything until almost the beginning of the next school year. So especially with these people that you are hiring early on, we ask that after testing is finished, if set a day that you invite all your new candidates into the building to do a walkthrough and a tour of the building. And then obviously we have the new dinner in June, which will be a point in contact for all of you. And then phone calls or something in July, just so they don't feel like they're kind of out of the loop for 3 months if they've gotten recommended to hire already. So please make sure, we hope to see better results in that on our survey next year, so they feel like they kind of are part of the district from the day that they're onboarded. They're in the loop with you at your building. So shooting them emails, including them in newsletters would be great, just so they feel like they're keeping up on everything already and getting ahead of the game. That's it for right now from your HR team. Again, best of luck in testing. It feels like I was just doing it last year. So I know it can be stressful, but I know you all are doing an amazing job out there, and we're here to support you. Thanks, and have a wonderful weekend.
Hello, Team HMC1. We are super excited about this first opportunity to participate in video-based conferencing. I appreciate the team in curriculum and instruction for bringing this opportunity to us, and hopefully this is something we might be able to do more of in different arenas as we move into the upcoming school year. With that being said, we wanted to honor everyone's time as it relates to testing and the like, and we wanted to move away from this month's principals meeting and give you the opportunity to watch this within a window of time and pull away those tidbits that are necessary so that we might continue to have a successful testing season, and we might also be able to look at those items that are pertinent to the closing of school. With that being said, send your teachers your best. Give them all a shout out, because I know that they're working extremely hard. Also, your students, we are hearing evidence that they are working extremely hard as well. As we move through this season of hard work and testing, and it's maybe a little stressful and a little tense time in the district, I would encourage you to think about this notion of ovation and making sure that we honor those people that do the good work here in our district. So I'm excited. We're a few days from graduation. Ruskin High School has lots of students being honored, lots of students receiving scholarships, and we are close to the graduation season. Also, we're excited because of some of the great work that's going on in our elementary schools around benchmarking. I'm getting extremely important information coming in from Lisa Walker about the work and how it has impacted students and their performance this year, and how we are clearly on the road to do great things next year. Elementary literacy and benchmarking is on its way. We've heard great things about our second grade teachers and what they are doing to facilitate this work moving forward. And we're also very excited about our bond issuance. If you have not heard, and I'm sure everyone has, 80% of our community supported the bond issuance. And if you recall, we only needed 58%. So what does that tell us as a school district? It tells us that there is a solid majority out there that believes in the work, and they are supporting the work that we are doing on behalf of our students. So we're going to have some movement, some shifting as we get into these construction phases in the coming months and beyond, but it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a member of Team HMC-1. Thank you for being a part of the team. Thank you for the work you do. Let's have an awesome finish. In the words of Vern Hasley from the Flipping Group, Vern Hazard, I think is his name, from the Flipping Group, we are going to finish strong. So Team HMC1, finish strong. Have a great day, and thanks for all you do.